Well, it's 4:30 on Sunday the 28th in Central Virginia, and most of our leaves are turning in the yard, although some of the oaks back there are green. But the wind's picking up, and this shows you what happens when the wind picks up. People wonder where I get enough leaves for my compost pile. Most of them are still on a tree. We walked back this way because we had a little problem with the tree. You might notice that if you have a lot of trees like this and you go right through there, I could move out of the way of that branch, there seems to be a big vacant hole. The power company people, they hire people to come by and trim the lines, and we got a line that runs down behind our house. You can see the pole right there. And they've cut all the branches off of that tree. And they've cut all the branches off of a tree that used to stand next to it. I'll go show you what happens. This particular tree here, which is topped off right there, didn't have as much on top of it as that one did, because the people that cleaned the power line off, that's right here, to make sure it didn't hit it, they cut almost every branch off of it, but they didn't cut it off back to the trunk. They cut it off at the end, so there's no leaves on it, so the tree dies. And they did the same thing with that. You can see the clean cuts on the end of the branches. There, one way up there, it's just clean cut. And so I called the electric company, and they came by and said this tree here had been improperly pruned and had died, and they would take care of it for me. But that tree, he said, was dying of old age. You can see the rest of them don't appear to be dying of old age. And that one over there is pretty good size. So anyway, power company said it would only drop it down to 20 feet, which would leave it way up there. And that's a pretty sizable tree, folks. I can't hug around halfway around this tree. This is big. And so I told the guys that they could leave the wood here if he cut it off that high. He said they weren't supposed to take that wood off anyway. It said the owner wanted it. But I can hang a sign out there at the end of this street and just say free firewood, and I'm sure it'll all disappear. But now I'm left with another tree that's going to fall down on me and fall on everything over the next few years, simply because the power company said that they didn't make those clean cuts up there. It's just dying. And the neat thing about it is, I came over here and counted these rings, and the center of it is about right there, and there are 121 rings to the edge. So that tree was at least 121 years old, and it's not the biggest one on the property. So think about it. This tree was before 1890. It was growing on this piece of property. And the tree that's leaning a bit over the house is bigger and older than this one. That tree may have been growing here when the Civil War ended. Anyway, it's probably more than you want to hear about my tree problem. But now all I gotta do is get rid of all this. At least cut it up in 2-foot lengths. But that's how much it is when it gets on the ground. Thanks for watching, guys.